everybody, hello, welcome. It is Thursday, and we're doing a little bit of Starfinder prep using fantasy grounds. I do 2 different campaigns with Starfinder, and let me pull up, pulling up the stream as well so I can chat with you folks as we move along. Today I'm using a pre-written module. Paizo does a really good job with their adventure paths, and this is the second one that I'm doing. The first campaign I did, hold on. There we go. So the first one, let me speak up a little bit. The first one I did was Dead Sons, and I'm still in the process of that. We're on the last book of that. I did add a bunch of homebrew to it and stuff. So there was our group is on level 10. I do that every other Sunday, and the days I'm not doing Dead Sons, I am doing Dawn of Flame, which will be this coming Sunday. Today's the 1st, so it's what, the 5th? Yes, the 5th. And every other week after that, so you can do the math depending on when you're watching this. So anyway, what I do with these pre-made is their maps are pretty decent, but there's a couple of things they do that I don't care for with their maps. And I also like to add special effects, lighting, depending on what's needed for the fights. So that is why we have our map up right now. This is our player map. Right now we're looking at what the players can see. This building does have power, so they do have light and lighting down here. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look and figure out what's going on in each of these sections. The first thing I wanted to mess with is line of sight. Now, if you look at these points here, these white squares, those are called occluders. Occluder, occluder. And those can slow down your computer. This one is not too insane, although it's much more than I want. But there have been some, especially if you're looking at some of the dungeon, or in Starfinder if you look at ruins and things, or cavernous areas, the occluders, there is a way in Fantasy Grounds to simply copy a painted layer as an occluder. And so, being it's quick and easy, but it does add the line of sight in a lot of different ways, and it makes it to where it's really rough. Plus, these are all doubled for some reason. There's 2 lines of sights. Why? They can't see, and they will never see this secondary line of sight ever. So I don't know why there's both. So that's one problem. So I have double the occluders that I need, and I want to have as few occluders as I can get within reason, without breaking the game. But the other thing is, as your player comes in here, so going back to our play mode, if you switch to this, what the player can see, you can there's nothing here. It just ends. There's no wall. It's just blackness and a door. So I prefer, whenever I do my line of sight, to have them where they can see that it is a wall. So that means, yes, they can actually walk, in theory, a smidge, tiny little area into the wall. They really wanted to move their token that far. But the point is, they can't tell that it is a wall. They just see it ends. So we're going to go ahead and remove some of these occluders, and then we're going to shift them around and move them, make some adjustments to these. So first of all, if you're looking over here, you can see is delete selected point and remove. So if you remove it, all it does is remove that one particular point, keeping the rest of the line. If you delete it, it deletes that point and any lines connected to it. And hello, Mr. Atomic. Appreciate you stopping by and for my little impromptu stream. Doing a little bit of ooh, they changed it a little bit. There we go. Okay, that was weird. All right. Anyway, so yeah, tech checkout. Impromptu is always fun. I'm glad you stopped by. Atomic Hero Squad. Everyone in early mornings, check him out. Definitely worth checking out. I'm going to see him tomorrow morning myself. Looking forward to it. All right, so this goes away. So I'm just going to take this. So I've got this selected. And we just take it and we drag it over to this wall, so that way it goes up to the door and they aren't seeing through it. Alright, so I think one of the reasons they were doing their weirdness is because they have like a several inch thick wall, and then this is just dirt in between. So they put line of sight along the outside edges of both walls. But like I said, you're never going to see these interior lines. This is all extraneous, useless stuff. So, just annoying. There we go. Alright, so we'll just move him in. This is the elevator that came down. And that it's being difficult. I'm just going to leave it. It works. Select all three of those, delete it, boom. Actually, I'm doing the wrong ones. I do want the interior, so I'm going to go Control Z. I don't want the exterior ones. So what will happen is, if we do the same thing, let's take a different token. I don't want to use theirs. Open up the combat tracker. We'll throw Beaker in here. Go to play, vision. Oh, Beaker doesn't have any sight, so we'll give him some light. We'll turn off the lighting. There we go. Alright, so see, there's a wall there. So there you go, there's a wall there. Amazing. Whereas here there's no wall. So that's the difference. That is what we're looking to do to fix. See, there's a wall now. And that's what I want. Alright, so now you know what I'm talking about here. Let's go back and finish this up. Alright, so we're going to shift this over. There you go. So I think what I'm going to do is just delete. So we're going to remove the point, selected point. See how it keeps the line there, and we're just going to slide this line up into the middle, put the blue line back where it was. Slide you up. We have two, so we can just delete this one. What's going on, folks? Just want to slide this up. Okay, we're going to remove this one, remove that's what I wanted to do, just move it up. Perfect. Here we go. Alright, and there are certain times when it's just easier to simply redo the whole, just delete everything and redo it yourself, which I'll be doing around the corners and such, but trying to get this, I'm hoping it'll be a little easier to do it this way. Alright. See if I can zoom in and see the difference here. I can't. Is that red? Come on, guys. Help me out. Alright, I'm just going to delete it. Forget it. Or remove. And we'll simply add the door back in. You gotta make sure you hit the select button up here. There we go. And I'll just add the door. So you double click on it, and it'll highlight all of that shape. I'm gonna slide this up. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to where we can see our lighting again. Just to turn off line of sight. There we go. Go back to our roof. Alright, so this again is in the wall. We're just going to move this over. It's low enough to where you can tell there's a wall there. We're going to move this up. And we'll get rid of all these. Well, no, hold on. We want to keep. We'll move him to here. Alright. And we're just going to go zip. Alright, so luckily, although I'm not sure why, they didn't do any kind of, again, they're blocking all of that. So the players will not be able to see that this is rubble. They just see this, so we're going to move this so they can tell, hey, there's rubble over here. This side, they did a much better job. You can see there's rubble. And that's a nice. Slide this in. Slide this whole thing up a little bit. There you go. So you can see what I'm doing if you're not able to follow all the little clicks and stuff. Is I'm clicking here, so like this is an occluder, a square. Click it, it turns red, and then I delete it. Boink, it's gone. Click this guy, remove it. If I delete it, it would delete the line. So I just want to remove instead. Click it, move it down, boom. So that's what I'm doing. Sliding on over. This whole interior, just double click. It selects them all. Delete. And now I'm going to move him down. Click. Move him down. Come on. Okay, why there's just two separate lines, I'm not sure. Alright, so now we're going to click him, hold down shift, click him, and remove both of these. Move it down, shift, click, shift click, shift click, remove. Again, it's not that important. Their line of sight, because they can see the line of sight, the fancy curved wall. Their line of sight is not as important. But they can't see beyond, so I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a moment, once we're done with this. And this one is not over the top. There are definitely some maps that are way over the top with a number of occluders. This one is not crazy, but it's just a habit I've gotten into when preparing these maps. I want there to be as little lag on my player's part and on my part as possible. So, oops, Control Z. Limiting the number of occluders will definitely help with lag. When you have these huge maps, Fantasy Grounds will support them and they look pretty and everything, but they can't take up RAM and stuff. The nice thing is they've made huge leaps and bounds as far as their technology to limit the amount of usage for, even if you were to make a map like this from scratch, these occluders are really the only thing that bogs your computer down. You can have image after image after image, furniture and doors and other things, without having it bog down your computer. Alright, we have doors selected. We're doing our rectangles. We're going to throw in our doors. When you're making a door, the main thing is you just want to make sure you overlap the red. Otherwise, if there's even the tiniest gap, it makes the line of sight all wonky. So let me turn on the line of sight again so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Here's the door. We open the door, and as we come in here, see, there's walls. You can see the walls. It's a wall. It's not just blackness. And see here, it looks just fine. You can tell you've got the nice curvature of the wall. That's what they're looking at. They're not looking at the fact that, oh, here, it's a little choppy here. Who cares? And that's what it looks like. See? So this side, it actually looks a little, yeah. So see how you can tell this is fallen rubble? And they know that they can't really stand in the wall here. This side is not quite as defined, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. Oh, that's because of where they are. There we go. Okay, that makes more sense. You just couldn't see it because of the wall. Alright, there you go. So again, you can see the difference. Nice wall. It's a wall. Here, it's just darkness. And it's not an old friend. Alright. Now, I do want to point out, though, is this is a personal preference. This map is, by all means, still playable. This is something I personally prefer to do. I personally prefer to take the time to tweak it like this. But you don't have to. In order to play this campaign, to use this map, you can leave it the way it was. It is not unplayable by any means. It is still usable, still great, a well-drawn map. So I don't mean to imply it is not, because it is. It's just a personal thing. I like to try to alleviate as much of this stuff as I can. What is going on, folks? Got these floating points that don't do anything. I'm trying to figure out where they're coming from and why. There we go. We want this to come all the way down. Blink. Alright, so we'll go back to our line of sight. Killing me, Smalls. I'm trying to move this up. Alright, so let's get you down. Delete. Yeah, they got these floating points that don't do anything. Remove. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. Slide you up, that's fine. Slide you. Again, a floating one, it's not necessary. And it may not seem like much, but all these little floating things I'm deleting are ones that aren't necessary and are just taking up more room, more space. Boom. Alright, he's done. Well, that's actually pretty helpful. I'll have to keep that in mind. Double clicking on the door to highlight the whole thing and then just move it. So we're going to take this, we're going to just remove this one, which will then blink, drop to there, we'll move it down to here, and move our door back up. Click, double click. Come on, Smokey. Go. Boom. Alright, there's your door. As you zoom out, you see it's not that big a deal. Alright, so that's good. Close enough. I'm going to get rid of all these occluders up here. We're going to go U2. Remove. U2. Remove. helpful and dandy. Well, thank you. There we go. Control Z. Alright. I'm just trying to draw a square. There we go. Delete some of these silliness. Remove. So remember, remove still keeps the line. Delete deletes the point and all lines connected to said point. So that's the difference between remove and delete over here when you're dealing with selected points. Get my point? See what I did there? Alright, so boom. There's a lot of things here. A lot of individual squares. Control Z, there we go. A lot of points, there we go, perfect. Let's get you up. Get you, select, and then shift select. Remove. And then while we're here, we can then remove this one. Alright, so we zoom in really close. Get rid of this guy. You see, we're getting down to almost pixel level here. Okay, never mind. Get that small, it's harder to select them and stuff, but delete. Alright, see what we're dealing with here. Alright, it's just a doubled line, we don't need it, so we're going to take you away. Take you far away from me. And delete this. Delete. Alright, so I'm going to bring you on down. Slide on over to here. See if we can't hopefully just snag the red one. No. Come on, you're killing me here. Here, let's do this again. Double click the door, remove the whole thing. And I love that I figured that out. It's all Atomic's fault, because before he came, I didn't know how to do it. And then he showed up and I figured it out. So I blame Atomic for that wonderfulness. Alright. We go, and now same thing we'll do is we'll look over here, see what is going on. What's going on? Okay, then we come back. Then we come back. And we move the door back where it was. A boomy. Stop it. Stop it. There you go. Alright. Wah. Okay. So we're getting close. Let's go ahead and draw a line around these guys. delete. Now I can double click it, highlight them all, delete. We're gonna delete this guy and this guy, and we're just gonna take him, go like this, boink. Grab him and delete, and now double click to highlight them all, delete. We'll just remove, I mean this is a straight line anyway, so I'm not sure why those points are even there. Oops, I wanted to remove, not delete. Shift, remove, 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 and the last one does not connect, does it? It does. Remove. Perfect, baby, perfect. Again, don't need all these, so we're just gonna go shift, 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 remove, and then we watch as they magically move over. Shift, 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 and we are removing all of these. I think they get the point. So we've reduced greatly the number of occluders. I'm just going to totally delete the tables and these. So what this does is it makes it to where you can't see through these things. Let me bring over my beaker dude so we can, I'll let him be seen. He's a cutie. Boom. So when you do the line of sight, you'll see here, so it makes it to where you can't see anything. If there was a person here, you could not see it. It's a foot locker. It's not this giant column. So none of these occluders, same thing with the table, you could not see on the other side of the table at all. These walls, absolutely, because it's a wall. Again, it's just actually just darkness. You can't tell what that is. Anyway, let me go back to my line of sight. Double click, highlight the whole thing, and I'm just deleting these. I can understand the logic, because had they not done this, somebody would have said, what happened if my tiny person wants to run around? They wouldn't have cover. I would argue your tiny person can still run around behind it and get cover. Use your imagination to realize he can't be seen by everybody else. It's not a big deal. But hey, whatever, man. Alright, so we're going to go shift, 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 remove, and now we'll have a pointy point. We're going to move you over and down over here. There we go. Take you and remove you. Slide this over. And what am I looking at here, folks? folks. What am I seeing? A door. Okay. And I honestly don't care. That's fine. Remove. Shift. Remove. And we're going to slide him over some more also. Alright, so we're going to delete you. Delete this one, and then double click. And you got it, folks. Delete. Shift click, shift, shift, remove. I'm just going to go ahead and slide him over in a little bit. Shift click. Yeah, I know this is exciting stuff, folks. But like I said, just keep in mind this is not necessary for enjoyment of the game. I choose to do this type of stuff because to me it is significant enough to matter. Most people wouldn't care. Oops, I still have a door, so Control Z. I want a wall. There we go. Alright, so now we go back to our selection instead of. Alright, so in this case, what are we looking at, folks? I don't know what this is. This should be a window, not a terrain feature. Oh, this is a curtain. Okay, so that's what that is. That's fine. This is one of the few times we'll actually leave it the way it's supposed to be. Alright, so I'll have to read through this first. It looks like there would never be a reason for them to be able to see, but maybe they can crawl up over it or through it. I don't know. So I'm going to leave that section for it the way it is for now. Now, one could argue that this line of sight should stay there, and I could see that because you wouldn't really. These are computer terminals. This is a different animal than like a small footlocker, and they may be hiding behind it, and they may be shooting from there and stuff like that. That's fine. I honestly don't see it being that big of a problem. I don't think there are not a whole lot of enemies in this room. So I'm not really going to be concerned. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And so you can just get a general feel and see the difference between like this area up here and like this. So many occluders. So I'm just trying to cut down on those. Delete this guy. Oh, next guy over, please. Thank you. Delete. Double click. Delete all that. Alright, so now we come down here. Double click. I thought they were all connected. They should have been all connected. Delete. Remove. And I'll shift him over a little bit. Or not. Remove. Let's remove. Okay, that didn't work. Remove. There we go. Remove should get a big pointy. Big pointy. I'm just gonna shift you around here. Oh. All right. Remove us some points. Slide it over. Alright, so I know this is repetitive, and with intermittent bits of silence and stuff. If you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. If I'm not explaining myself well, if you missed why I'm doing some of these things, you can catch the replay on the U's and the Tubes. In theory, should be there tomorrow. Alright, so I'm trying to remove the point here and have it just jump up to this one. Let's see what happens. So there's so many points that as I remove each one. There's still so many left. There was a friend of mine who said at one point he had more than 100 occluders in one little section because he had hit a bunch of buttons wrong and done a bunch of copies and stuff and didn't realize it, and it took, it was bogging down his map and he didn't understand why. And then he found this 100 plus occluders in one section. Come on, man. Remove. Let's just delete this guy. Delete. There we go. Remove. Looks like we finally got it where we want it. Yay. Alright. Oakley dokley, folks. Let's fix this mistake. Delete. And remove the occluder. Remove. There we go. And there we go. Draw a line. Click, click, escape, to be done. Alright, so there we go. Simplified, easier. We're going to do the same thing down here, up here as we did down below. We're just going to go back to my selection. Delete. Take him, move him there, and then we just draw a line straight up the center of the column. So this will prevent line of sight. So what I mean is, if you watch, look at here, line of sight. So if he's here, hiding behind here, you cannot see on the other side, and he can't be seen from this other side, and that's what we want. But we can now see, oh hey, There's a stanchion there. There's a wall. Instead of it just being blackness, like all this other stuff is. It's like blackness. What happened here? Where's the wall? Therein lies the rub, my friend. Therein lies the rub. I'm going to take this point and just slide it up to here. Come all the way over to this corner. We can delete this one, this errant waypoint, occluder, whatever. We will remove him, which will jump it to the middle. And just slide him on over. Boom. It's just that simple, folks. Just that simple. Remove. Shift, shift, shift. Delete. Hold on a second, folks. Look at this. Looks like we have something amiss. Here we go. Click, shift, click, remove, shift you on over. Okay, so let's we'll just do it like this. Close enough. I got too crazy in my removal. Let's shift this puppy over a little bit. There we go. Good enough. So again, it's not perfect, but it's close enough. Line of sight. See? You can tell where the wall is, and that's the whole point. That's all I'm trying to say, friends. All I am trying to say. Nothing, just empty space. Wall, wall, wall. If you don't understand what I'm trying to say, I dare say you never will. And I apologize for my lack of communication skills if that is the case. There we go. Close, I say close, I say close enough. Remove. Oops. That is not what I wanted to do. Let's Control Z this puppy. Why is it doing that? That's weird. Okay, so we'll move it over then. Ah, that's why, because they're not connected. Okay. Alright, folks, well, hey, gonna shift this bad boy over. remove, and we will call it good. There you go. It is good enough for the moment. Go back to our remove line of sight. Come on. There we go. Alright, we'll take off the token. So messing with line of sight today, that's pretty much all we had time to do today. But again, if you look at the top compared to the bottom, sheer number of occluders is so much better up top. Over here, I'm probably just going to delete the whole thing and draw it. So what I mean by that is just simply do this, go to the line of sight, yep, okay, so draw the square, highlight them all, delete, shift this up, and then you just simply go click line, click, 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 escape, and we're done. So just like that. Go back to our pointer. So, a couple different ways to do it, whichever one works best for you and your style. You want to remove. So you can see a couple different ways of doing it. Take this guy down here, and then we'll just draw our box again. Click on our line tool, click, 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 and over here. So, quick, simple, ready to rock and roll when next we play. I'm just going to draw this real quick because so, thank you for hanging out with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that happiness. Escape. Boy, so much stuff. Now the cars I'm going to leave, by the way. The cars I will leave because those are definitely things you cannot see through. Was just filling in the last couple lines here. Escape, click, over to the door. There we go. So I appreciate you. Check out what this does. My live play is accurate here on my. If you're looking at my schedule. My other stuff, not so much. I've been having issues with planning and giving late night rides and things, other life in general. So some of my other bi-weekly stuff, my tutorial videos like this are more ad hoc and more when I can get them done. But my live play is accurate. Except for this Sunday, we won't actually. Tonight we aren't playing. And next week we aren't playing for the next 2 weeks. We won't be playing on Thursdays, but we are playing. We played last night. Check it out there on YouTube, and we'll be playing Sunday. So thanks again for hanging out with us, with me and Atomic. And Atomic, I'll see you tomorrow. And guys, whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.